Alright, hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 Genetically Modified Overkill run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing what I'm calling the Shrek build, the Ogre, who's also a knight, and since we ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, we're gonna pick a nice blunt weapon and take the mace, which is a weapon I just wanted to play around with, and this seemed like a great combo to use it. Also, look at this character. What is this character appearance? So, of course, we do the perfect amount of damage with every swing, which just adds to the memes of it all. So, this character is going to be constantly losing, or has very low attack speed, because the Ogre loses attack speed, and, of course, the Knight gets 50% attack speed modifications, which does reduce our attack speed reduction, but also makes it so that we can't buy attack speed and can never fix it. So this character is going to be swinging really slowly, and then when we do, enemies are going to explode. I'm going to take some luck here, and then we will just grab another mace. We'll lock a gentle alien. That's perfect. We can't use harvesting effectively because the knight has minus 80% harvesting reduction, or has 80% harvesting reduction, so we won't be able to effectively buy that. And then let's roll, and we'll grab another mace. That's also perfect. I could try to... So we're going to be doing a lot of damage in the early waves, of course, but our attack speed is going to really come back to haunt us as we get into higher waves. The mace actually attacks pretty fast. For a minus 26% attack speed character, we're swinging pretty quickly. Kind of fun. Here, we're going to roll again. And I will roll one more time, I think. I'm looking for armor. I'm looking for luck. Any of those things are good. Regeneration is also pretty good as well. Unfortunately, we can't afford our third mace, so I'll just buy a gentle alien. I could re-roll here. Basically, we'd be spending 2 to look at 2 other slots, because we're just going to go with maces for this character. So we could get 2 slots, potentially roll into an economy item. I think that's worth it. When you get a reroll for as cheap as 2 materials, it's usually worth it just to look for an item. Because if we lock an item there, we save the 2 materials that it would cost more to buy the same item next wave anyways. Taking a lot of damage here. You can see the attack speed there was kind of an issue. It's hard not to take damage when you only have 2 weapons and they swing this slowly, so this character is going to struggle a little bit to not tank hits. I couldn't make my way over to that curse alien in time, so we just had to let it survive. We'll take the scar here, and then I will take some armor. Armor, of course, is excellent. This level 2 harvesting, it's here to taunt me. Let's roll, and I'll take some luck. Luck's the other economy item that we can pick up, so it helps us out. I'll take the mace here, and then we'll pick up a lumberjack shirt. The lumberjack shirt is good for the ogre, because it does allow the trees to explode. Normally, it's very hard to get the damage so that the trees don't explode. Then we will lock another mace and go to the next wave. Of course, because you need to exceed enemy hit points by a certain amount for them to explode with the ogre, and trees have lots of hit points, so they typically won't explode when you're playing the ogre, but with lumberjack shirt, you get explosions out of them. Alright, nice. We managed to pick up that curse alien. I'm regretting not getting the one in the previous wave. The other one spawned on the other side of the map, and we were just too slow to get that last swing. I'm going to take the move speed here. We definitely want to repair our move speed as quickly as possible. Saltwater is going to be pretty nice for that, because we will constantly be taking damage. Unfortunately, it does give me attack speed, which I actually don't want, but it won't be much attack speed. I will take the weapon first, though, and then we'll buy these 2 things. Lock this, and we will roll, and we will lock in another mace. And we are slowly getting our medieval weapon tag going. I did say this was a blunt weapon at the beginning, and I was speaking, you know, not in the sense of the blunt weapon tag. I'm sure everyone is commenting in the in the comments about that. But maces are blunt. These maces seem to be fairly spiky. Killing that floater, these guys drop a decent amount of materials. Also, when there's cursed enemies on the field, we can get more explosions, which is nice. Definitely just going to take the armor here. Increasing our armor is really good. Crit chance is another way that we could boost our damage output. So, yeah, I'm going to take 5% because it's a level 2 upgrade. And then we will take the mace here. Small fish is excellent for this character. It reduces our attack speed, which we want. And it also means that enemies are going to be taking double their max health as damage on the first swing, and thus exploding much more frequently. Let's do one reroll here. We're still guaranteed to see one weapon in the shop on wave 5, so I'm going to keep rerolling until we hopefully find another mace, and we did. And that will finally max out our weapon set. Heavy and medieval for the mace is a really good set of weapon tags. The heavy weapon is... I mean, it's a huge amount of bonus damage, and it's just more stats than most weapon tags give you. Unfortunately, it's typically on fairly weak weapons, including the mace, but this is a combo that can use the mace very well. It's funny how sometimes... even though we actually hit the pufferfish with our weapon, it still exploded into projectiles there, which, yeah, you saw that happen again, which it's only supposed to do if you kill it with ranged weapons. So it's interesting that that's the interaction with the Ogre explosions, is that when we overkill it, the game thinks that it was killed by the explosion and still spawns the projectiles. Here, I'm going to reroll. I think we can do better than that, and we'll take 3 regeneration, and then... I do need some max HP, but I think I'll just take 5 luck here. We'll grab the mace here and the salt water, and then I will roll again, see if we can upgrade our mace. Sad Tomato is going to be excellent. Propeller Hat also going to be excellent, and Corrupted Shard, of course, is a great item also. So, very happy with that. This is a great run for me, because I'm just sitting here, drinking a beer, bonking things with a stick. The ideal evening. The walrus has too much health for us to one-shot. Alright, so our explosions currently do 54. I definitely need to boost my max HP to increase the damage of the explosions. I'm more worried about getting things to explode, but of course we want the explosions to do double the damage of the enemies so that we can chain explosions with the Ogre. Of course, you want the Ogre explosions to be doing enough damage that they chain across the map. As you can see, we're still having a little bit of trouble not taking hits because of our very slow attack speed and our slow move speed. Do I want to regen for -2 speed? I probably do. Regen is just so good for this character, and then we'll take 3 armor as well. Bowler Hat, this is minus attack speed and plus luck. The harvesting doesn't really do anything because we're the knight. I think we will pass on the Bowler Hat, probably. 15 luck for 134 is a pretty bad rate, so I think we're just going to pass on the Bowler Hat. Unfortunately, too short of rerolling, but we still managed to get a bunch of good items here. I'm curious, as I'm calling this the Shrek build, how many people have actually seen Shrek the movie and not just memes of Shrek? Because I think that movie's quite old now, and many of you may be too young to have actually seen the movie itself. That was what, like 2004? 20-year-old movie? Maybe it's a little more recent than that, I don't remember. Goldfish, yeah, I will definitely take goldfish. I don't really like to buy the goldfish because I find that it typically doesn't pay for itself. You'll so often spend like 80 materials and then just not buy anything from the next shop, and it'll be completely wasted. But when you find it in a box, it just increases the quality of your next shop on average. Then I'm going to roll here, and we will take the 9 movement speed, which is perfect. I really wanted movement speed. This is not our goldfish shop, but of course we don't want anything from it, so let's roll, and hopefully we get a high-level item that we actually do want. We didn't really. We got a mace, which isn't bad. The Triangle of Power, I just don't think we need this. We already have 30% damage, so of course we could take more damage, but it's very hard for us not to tank hits. So the Triangle of Power, I think, is going to end up being worth not that much for this character. So I'm going to pass on it, and then I will roll, and then we will definitely take a bag. Baby Gecko we can pick up as well, and then let's do another reroll, and we will take a mace and a mushroom. So our maces are swinging for 160, which is pretty nice, but they do swing very slowly, and we have not managed to build any max HP pretty much, so that's definitely got to be a priority over the next couple waves. Our next levels I should dedicate to maximum health if I can find it at efficient rates. Because, of course, it boosts our Ogre explosions and then also makes it so that we can survive. It does the thing that health is supposed to do. And as we go into an elite wave, which is coming up faster than I'd like, currently our damage is not bad, but typically attack speed is the most important stat for single target damage. And this character has very weak attack speed. So even though our actual damage output isn't terrible, our attack speed is low enough that it's going to be very hard for us to kill an elite quickly. Can we get this guy? Nice. All right, got it right at the end. So you can see we're not making that much money on these waves. This is because on the Abyss, money from enemies is only a small percentage of how much money you tend to make, unless you get a lot of curse, because this map is kind of balanced on having high curse or investing a lot into early harvesting. It's really important to invest into harvesting on this map because there's just less money on the map for you to get. Since we're playing the knight and can't effectively use harvesting, we're playing at an economic deficit compared to a lot of other characters. I'm going to take the wheat here, and then the pumpkin we're just going to recycle. We don't have any use for that. And this is perfect. We managed to get some maximum HP, like some armor, which also increases our melee damage. Little muscly dude, an excellent find for us as well. So we're now up to 40 HP, and I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with 14 armor and 40 HP and 15 regen. We're in much better shape to fight an elite. Then we will buy another mace and a mushroom. The level 3 maces scale with negative attack speed even better, and also reduce our attack speed more, which is reduced by the knight, but Knight is one of the characters that can start with mace, so that's part of why I wanted to run it for this build, because it's just fun. We'll take another mace here, and we're not going to grab Bone Dice. This character is operating at a very low economy. Bone Dice is going to take a long time to pay off, and requires a lot of rerolls, which takes a lot of money. So this character won't be rerolling as often, and it'll take a long time to get value out of Bone Dice. Of course, also, every hit point we lose is even worse for this character, because we need those to do explosion damage. Do one reroll there for 12, but since we didn't find anything, we're just going to go to the next wave. We don't need to buy that much melee damage because we're the knight, so we can get our melee damage by buying armor, which is a much better way to do it. Armor, of course, is one of the best stats in the game, so if you can get another important stat tied to your armor, then it's excellent. That's part of why I like Stone Skin, which would be great for this character, also. I like Stone Skin, even though a lot of players, I think, tend not to value that item very highly, because it just means that you can never have to buy maximum HP when you have Stone Skin, which is just pretty efficient. It means that you don't have to spend money on a stat that doesn't, in and of itself, do that much for you, and armor, which is a much better stat, providing defensive stats as well, is really good. Yeah, I guess the sunglasses will cost us an armor, but I think the crit chance is worth it here. Triangle of Power, when it's free like this, I'm going to grab it. I didn't want to buy it, but the armor and 20% damage is good, and we probably won't take more than like 10 or 15 hits in a wave. Even if we take 20 hits in a wave, then Triangle of Power will kind of work like a reverse Wisdom, letting us kill the elite faster, and then we take a bunch of hits and lose damage, but we've already killed the elite, so it hopefully won't matter that much. I'm going to take the regen here over the melee damage, because we have 50 melee damage already, so regeneration is going to be more important for us. And then, is it too late to buy a black belt? It does cost me 8 luck, which is a little painful, but honestly, I think not. XP gain is pretty good for this character, because it's one of the only ways we can actually buy economy, since we can't use harvesting, so buying black belt will help out a little bit there in an aspect of the character that's quite weak. And I tend to like XP gain items more on the Abyss as well, because the early waves are worse for you, so you will be at a lower level. If we were playing on the Crash Zone map, we would be at a much higher level and get less value from the XP gain, whereas the Abyss is more backloaded in terms of your income during the waves, so even later XP gain items are better on this map. We'll take the muscly dude there and roll, and we'll take a treasure map. We're going to avoid Spyglass for the same reason we avoid Bone Dice. The minus 25, I talk about this a lot, but the minus 25% reroll price on Spyglass takes forever to pay off. This is a very good item for Endless Mode, but for 20 waves, it almost never will pay for itself, or if it does, it'll be 10 waves later, at which point you could have had way more money out of an item that actually increased your wave clear or survivability. Take the Corrupted Shard here, and we will lock the medals for bonus armor and move speed. In fact, that's all the stats we want. I do need some more healing, ideally, before we fight the elite here. I just want a little bit more max HP and a little bit more regen. I think we're in pretty good shape to fight it. Our damage is very good, and our defensive stats are quite solid as well. But the low attack speed does make it more risky than it might look, just looking at the numbers on like our flat damage. And since we heal quickly, but not incredibly quickly, there is a world where we take 2 or 3 hits in a row and just die. You can see I'm taking a lot of hits here, and that is hurting us with the Triangle of Power, but I think it's still damage positive currently, and even if it ends up slightly negative by the end of the wave, then that's okay, because it gave us a pretty big boost for most of the wave. Gonna run up there and kill that loot alien. Scope. Actually, I'm going to take the scope. It reduces our attack speed, which increases our damage, and the range isn't bad for this character. Tractor, we're going to recycle, even though... So, Knight can take Tractor if you find it fairly early, because even at 80% harvesting reduction, right, we only get a fifth of the harvesting we would normally get for Tractor. That's still 8 harvesting, which, if you find it really early, can be pretty good. For this character, though, I really want the percent damage because we're going into an elite fight, so I don't want to get weaker before we go into an elite fight. Here, I'm going to take the HP, I think. 12% damage would be really nice as well, but we really want HP, and then I'll take 15 luck, because luck is really nice also. Let's pick up the medal. Defective Steroids is kind of the perfect item for this character, and Clover will be good as well. We can start building dodge here, and then we'll buy that. Do I want the feather? The 3% dodge? Yeah, I think we can take feather, and do I want Bean Teacher or Insanity? Celery Tea will probably cost us too much money to be worth buying, and won't give us that much XP gain. I think the Bean Teacher is okay, though. I'm going to buy it, because 50% XP gain is a lot, and then we will also buy the Insanity, because crit chance is pretty good for this character. So you can see we are killing the elite, but quite slowly because of our attack speed loss. So you wait for that guy to do his 3 attacks, and then we sort of run away from him, stack him on top of a bunch of enemies so we can explode them all on top of them, and that's how you burst down elites as the Ogre, is you use the smaller enemies to splash a bunch of damage onto the elite. So, because we invested into a bunch of defensive stats, we were able to do that quite safely. Triangle of Power was also very good there. The extra 20% damage made that a lot faster. And even though we've subsequently taken several hits and are now not getting any value from it, although the armor is still very good because we're the knight and get damage from armor, the Triangle of Power really helped us out there to kill the elite more quickly, so we didn't have to worry that much. Giant Belt, probably not going to be that good. We don't attack that quickly, and our crit chance is never going to be amazing. I guess I'll take it. It will probably speed up our boss kills, and I'll recycle the pile of books. 3% crit chance for 41. No, I guess I can take that. So I changed my mind. In part because I have the Giant Belt, so the crit chance has a little more value than it did before that. Take the move speed here, because I really want to improve that, and then we will buy these items, and then roll. Peaceful Bee we can take, that increases our dodge chance, which is nice. I don't think we care that much about Garden, so I'm going to pass on it. Gecko I will take, and then we will go to the next wave. Gecko might look a little odd on a very melee character like this, but the explosions can sort of chain from enemy to enemy, so that can help a lot. We should keep an eye out, of course, for explosion damage and explosion size. It's very possible I passed a dynamite because I've been focused on armor and other stuff like that. And sometimes with these melee builds, even if they're explosively focused, I tend to overlook dynamite. It can be easy to just overlook an item. Like that one that you're used to overlooking on this kind of build. So if I did pass a dynamite, then my apologies. But we should keep an eye out for dynamite. We should keep an eye out for plastic explosive. Plastic explosive would be the best item for us at present because it would really improve our wave clear. But right now we're just hitting enemies so hard that they just burst, which is always satisfying. The octopus, incredible. This is exactly what we want. Unfortunately, does reduce our crit chance, but the regen and HP are amazing for us. And then let's reroll here, and yeah, I'll take more health. I will definitely take the bait. This is a great item, and Clockwork Wasp for 5% speed is fine as well. Of course, we want Lure and Jerky. Do I need the Jerky in order to fight this next elite? So Jerky makes this next wave much safer, but if I don't buy the Jerky, then I could pick up the Lure and even the Scar if I want to. I think what I'm going to do is buy the Lure and the Cute Monkey, because we want all of those items. We have plenty of XP gain, and it's kind of late in the run, so I think we're going to pass on Scar, and we'll lock Jerky. This is a bit risky, but these two items do also provide healing, and this way we get the Lure wave earlier, so it does help our economy out. I'm not that worried about taking the bait on the elite wave, usually because it will just, with the Ogre, because it will just give us more things to explode onto the elite. But as it is, I actually kind of messed up that fight quite badly and took too many hits. And so now the Triangle of Power is starting to hurt us as well. So regretting not taking the Jerky here. We may not be able to kill the elite this wave because I fought this quite badly. Also, this loot alien got a buff. I think we're going to still get it, just because we do enough damage. And we still killed the loot alien, so it worked out, but not the cleanest wave by me. I just took way too many hits off the start. Just very bad positioning, so I took a lot of extra damage. I was concerned that I was going to have to stop fighting the elite and not get the kill, and that would have been sad. I didn't think we were likely to die, because we do still have very good defensive stats, but I had put myself in a position where I was under a lot of pressure and was potentially going to have to give up on either the loot aliens or the elite kill. As it happened, we were fine, but not a well-played fight by me at all. We will increase our dodge here. Oh no, the ashes. So the 20% damage is good. The 20% attack speed, it's both good and bad, but it's mostly bad for us because our weapon scales with negative attack speed. And we don't really want to lose 6 armor. So we're going to recycle the ashes here, unfortunate, and then recycle the bandana as well. Take 9% dodge, that'll help, and 3 more armor is perfect. All right, stone skin. This is, I talked about this already. This is like the ideal item for this character because it reduces our attack speed and gives us a ton of HP based off a stat we already want to buy a lot of. Lock the mace here, and then roll, and take another gecko. I don't really want the snail. I don't really care about that. Just a little more regeneration would be pretty nice for this character as well. Yeah, I'm really not sure why sometimes the pufferfish are creating projectiles and sometimes they aren't. I mean, yeah, so they're... I think it's when there's another enemy in the area of the explosion, or in the area of the explosion. Yeah, so even though we hit the pufferfish first, it still makes projectiles as if we hit another unit. That's a really interesting interaction. I've never seen that before. That time it didn't happen. Someone should go frame by frame, because it's possible I'm just hallucinating this. That time it was just the explosion killing it before my weapon hit it. But it looked like even though we hit the pufferfish first of all the enemies that we hit, because there were other enemies included in the swing of our mace, it still counted it as being killed by the explosion and generated the projectiles. Which is a weird way for it to work, but this game does just have weird stuff happen sometimes. Do I want dodge or regen? I think I'll take 6 dodge, because we are getting pretty close to dodge cap. Fairy, obviously, incredible for us. Cursed Fairy, all the more incredible for us. So very happy here. We will take that. And then all of these items are great. Which of them do we want the most? I'm going to upgrade my weapon next and then lock these two. Throw in 1 reroll here. Ooh, a cursed silver bullet? Well, that's going to help out a lot, as will the power generator. So this is quite a shop for us. Really excellent stuff there. Now that we've got the fairy, our regen is looking really solid. I do want to increase my damage because we're... and my percent damage in particular, because our explosions are no longer one-shotting everything. Or no longer, I guess, overkilling everything enough to ogre kill it. I'm very curious how much damage the giant belt will have done at the end of the game, and whether it did anything at all. I suspect the answer to that is no, but I'm very interested to see how it works out. A lot of those items, you don't get that, because they're like level 4 items and everything, you don't get that much chance to practice with them, and so you don't always have a great sense of how well they're working or how well they're likely to do in a given scenario, because you just haven't had that much experience with them, and even after hundreds and hundreds of hours of playing this game, those level 4 items, you only get so many chances to try them out, especially in weird scenarios like this one. I'll take the starfish here, and then we'll take some more armor, and here we are going to go with the silver bullet, because we're going into an elite wave, and power generator or blindfold. I'll take the power generator to try to kill the elite a little faster, because just the more percent damage we have, the more likely we are to kill the elite quickly. I like when you have a really slow attack speed character, just the wait time before you get to swing again, and you're just standing there staring at the elite. Trying to not kill too many other enemies. I actually messed up when I killed this big group up there, because what you want to do is stack other enemies on top of the elite to kill it faster. So letting that swing go off and kill that big group of enemies before it was standing on the elite, which it would have been if I'd just waited a second, was a minor error as well. At this point, we're strong enough that it mostly doesn't matter that much, but those little things do add up, so you need to be cognizant of them. something I always try to do is point out when I make mistakes, because that's how you learn. Do we want... So this would increase our attack speed and reduce our armor, but give us regen. I think that's still too high a price to pay. Very happy with the cape, of course, because that gets us pretty much to dodge cap. And then we'll take 12% damage. We will take the blindfold, which puts us over dodge cap, and the scarf. Weird Ghost is more regen, so this will leave us at 1 HP, which is a little risky, but we can still take the Weird Ghost, because that gives us 70 regeneration. There's a Dynamite, which we don't have one of yet, and let's roll, and we'll lock a Mace here, and go to the next wave. So 70 regen is totally safe for a Weird Ghost, unless I take a bunch of hits in a row from these walruses, but hopefully we can avoid doing that. Alright, so I'm going to try to... I was trying to get that pufferfish to where I could hit it and another enemy at the same time. See, when the next group spawns. So that time... nothing. Okay, let's try to get it near some weaker enemies if I can. Yeah, so that time it did create projectiles, but that time we hit the other enemy first. Let's see. Can we get... So that time it didn't. So it looks like and that time it didn't as well. So it looks like I was just making that up and just had been hitting other enemies first. And it wasn't doing anything weird with the pufferfish. But it really felt like it was exploding even though I hit it first. But always good to test these things. Take 16% damage here, and then... Is the coupon likely to pay for itself? Probably not, but this is still a cheap way to buy some regeneration. 2 regeneration, and we'll take a whistle. Again, just buying regeneration there mostly. Oh yeah, the level 4 mace, by the way, because many people may not have seen a level 4 mace. It scales with 100% of your negative attack speed, so we're getting 53 base damage just from our negative attack speed alone, and then also 100% of our melee damage. And it costs you 10 attack speed, so the mace is going to hit really hard, but very, very slowly, which for most characters is not a good trade-off, but for this character is pretty good. Definitely a duct tape, even though it costs us HP, it's still really nice. Definitely taking a bunch of hits here, which is hurting us for the Triangle of Power. This character, because of our slow attack speed, the Triangle is still good. It's still working out well for us, but the character's not the best user for Triangle of Power. But because we got it for like 40 materials, it still was very good. All it does, the real downside is if we had found Blood Donation or Bloody Hand, but this character wouldn't buy Blood Donation anyways, and Bloody Hand wouldn't be that good for us regardless. So losing out on the potential chance for those items in exchange for a pretty efficient damage item is good. And because it's front-loaded to the beginning of the wave, it's a lot stronger than Wisdom in general is, because it helps you kill elites faster rather than slower. We'll take 4 armor here. That should help us kill the bosses a little faster, and 8% damage is fine. Take some armor again. I'm not going to buy the mirror. The chances that we find something good to duplicate are pretty low, given we only have 1 chop here. Although the leather vest would have been worth duplicating, so it would have worked out. Let's roll here, and do I want the acid? I guess so, just more HP. In the last shop, you don't need to be as picky about what you're buying. Anything that can kind of help out is worth picking up, because the likelihood of you finding something better than that isn't that high, since you only have the 1 chance. We are 1 short of re-rolling to see what else we would have found, so let's go to wave 20. So I really want to stack the bosses on top of each other. We swing really slowly, so it's important to me to hit both of them at once. With a given swing, because that will speed up the kill. And that way, if we're stacking other enemies onto them, the explosions will hit both of them. Now, unfortunately, they kind of split up there because the whale usually charges at you. That time, it kind of stalled. Just the way the attack pattern worked out. So we had to wait a little while for it to stack on top of the other boss, but we're still able to get a bunch of damage on it and wait for these other enemies so that we can get a big explosion and finish it off. So pretty efficient boss kills there. I would say they got Shrek'd. And let's take a look at our items here. This was a really fun run. Not like the most challenging in the world, but very thematic, and I really liked getting to use the mace. Just swinging for 500 damage was really sweet. So I would recommend this if you too are looking for a nice relaxing run. The bag was obviously very good. 315 isn't as good as bag usually does, but still very nice. What else? We didn't buy that many economy items, actually, which is part of why this run didn't end up with that many items overall. The coupon saved us 40 materials, so we bought it for, I think, 60 and saved 40 and got 2 regen for 20 materials, which is a pretty good deal, even if those 20 materials came, you know, later and thus were worth slightly less. Or 40 materials, even if the discount showed up later and was worth slightly less, that's a pretty good deal to buy 2 regen for 20. We got 4 extra items from Treasure Map. Treasure Map is just an unreal item. It gives you so many extra items. This item is one that I think people underestimate, but is rapidly rising in my rankings. Is like an easy S tier item, but I think is right up there with the very best S tier items like bag and so on. All right, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this Ogre run. I hope that it was everything you wanted out of the Shrek run. And if you give it a shot, I guarantee that you will have fun just bonking things with a big stick. As always, of course, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. It helps me out. So I appreciate you taking the time to do that. You know, it does annoy me that I have to keep irritating you guys about this, but it really makes a difference with the algorithm. So it is the best way to support creators whose work you enjoy. And of course, if you have enjoyed the video, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks, and I will catch you next time.